All righty. Good morning, everyone. So today we're going to do a little bit of hamstring work. So always be mindful. You're going to want a blanket and possibly, but not necessarily, a strap with a loop in it. Doesn't have to be a big loop. It's probably about, shoulder or hips width apart or shoulders width apart, something like that. And always, I love having my blocks. So have your blocks nearby. And start by just sitting well. And if you need to sit or want to sit on a blanket or on a pillow or anything, we're going to use the blanket for something else, but feel free to sit on it for now. And then sit really tall, snuggle down into the mat, and just feel your body start to come into alignment as we move into our yoga pose. And as you do, feel the crown of the head reach up, the tailbone reach down, all of those things. And over the last couple of classes, we have played with inhaling from your pubic bone up to the crown of the head, lengthening the front of the body. And then as we exhale from the crown of the head down to the tailbone, lengthening the back of the body so that you feel really even front to back. And then maybe close your eyes for a moment. Start to take in a nice deep breath and exhale, let it out. Good. A couple more here. Inhale. And exhale it out. One more. Inhale. And exhale, let it go. And then place one hand at your chest and one hand at the lower belly. Let the shoulders, elbows be really soft, so don't hold anything out to the sides. And as you breathe, feel the belly expand out. And as you continue that inhale, feel the chest rise. Maybe pause at the top of the breath for just a moment. And then exhale, chest releases but doesn't sink in. And then the belly draws in. And you can even play here with exhaling through your mouth so that you can really elongate that exhale. So inhaling, pause at the top, exhale slowly out. And at your own pace. Good. 3 more rounds right here. As you breathe, try not to think about other things. Just think about your breath, your inhale, your exhale. Good. Last one right here. And then open the eyes if they're closed. Let go of your fingers. Take the hands out to your sides and just circle your wrists. Just big circles. Really stretch them out and then circle the other way. The other way. And then turn your palms up. If it hurts your shoulders, just drop the arms lower. Really reach the fingers up to the ceiling as if you were pressing two walls away from each other, or away from you. Good. And then turn the palms down. Fingers are pointed down. Really stretch them and then curl the fists down. Yep. Squeeze, release, open, turn the palms up, turn the palms in, breathe, curl your fingers, just curl the wrists, don't bring them in. Ooh, are those tight today? Good. Breathe, open. Good. Turn the palms away from you as you're stopping traffic. Curl and tuck and let go. Good. Roll it out, everybody. And then let's straighten the legs. You're going to use your blanket right away. And I think I may have to turn sideways just so we don't lose the blanket in the little camera here. So you're going to use the blanket and just place it under one heel. And actually, let's do it this way first. So take the blanket or the towel long ways so that you have most of your calf muscle and maybe behind the knee supported. And then take your other leg into a regular side knee bend. I'll turn forward so you can see again. Yeah, so that you're in just like a regular Janu Sirsasana, but you're got your whole lower leg, here I am fussing, your whole lower leg on the blanket. What that does is it supports the knee and it allows the knee to not hyperextend. So we're going to start in the middle, draw the leg back, roll the shoulders back, flex your foot, inhale, reach up. Exhale, I want you to swan dive forward. Pause right when you feel that first yummy stretch of the back of your legs, right? So there's a fine line here between overstretching and not stretching enough. So I want you to just tap into the first stretch and then let your hands come down on either side of the leg. We're not going to go super deep yet. It's super early in class. We're just going to get ourselves warmed up. But then notice, right? So as that leg is supported and as the back of the knee is supported, we can reach forward with the torso, reach back with the leg, and find our breath. So the hamstrings are a really interesting group of muscles. They're at the back of the leg. And you know how we always talk about sit bones, right? Your sit bones. All of the hamstring muscles, the three hamstring muscles, all attach to that sit bone that we sit on when we're doing yoga or sitting at our chair. So there's the right, that's the place where it originates, and then they travel down the back of the leg and either go behind the knee or on either side of the knee. So they pass two joints, and they can get tight, those babies, right? Good. So come on up, roll your shoulders back, keep the blanket the leg on the blanket, and then slide the leg out to the side. So now you're in a nice wide leg, Janu, right? Half leg, one leg out, half the leg bent. Roll your shoulders and then face the leg if you can, right? Doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to be squared to it, but keep the other leg bent in that Janu form. But then look at your leg, look at the left leg that is reaching out and feel the inner thigh, right? Those adductor muscles, feel those starting to have a conversation with you. Maybe you move the flesh out of the thigh so that you can really make sure the knee is pointing up, the toes are pointing up, and then staying more focused on the leg, lean over the leg. Again, the knee is supported, so the blanket should be covering the calf muscle all the way up toward the knee or under the knee for some of you. Keep drawing the thigh back even as the torso comes forward. Don't go to your fullest stretch, okay? Big deep breath. Good. Take the torso up. Simply slide your blanket. Hopefully, it'll slide. Bring it back to the center. Release your right knee, step over, and then slide your left leg across your body, right? We do this a lot laying down. We don't do this a whole lot sitting up. If you're on a surface where your stuff doesn't slide, just kind of move it and then put the leg back on it. Flex your foot, lift up really tall, and then wrap your left arm around your right knee. if you're on that side, and come into a nice little twist. Yeah, and breathe. There's always so much explanation on the first side. I wonder if the second side gets a little shorter time for some of it. Good. Nice deep breath here. Lift up nice and tall in your torso. Don't forget about lengthening your spine. And then release your twist. Come forward. Good. And then bring your left leg back in and just drop your right knee out to the side. So this would be like a figure four, right? If we were bending that knee, but the knee is supported. So then lean forward. This might be a little bit more intense, a little bit deeper. If it's too much, just take the foot off. Find your breath. And come on up. Good. Release that leg. Just let it sit right on the blanket. Flex both of your feet. Your hands come to your sides. Good. Nice Dandasana, staff pose. Maybe the arms come up, but then remember the breath that we did, right? We don't want the chest to collapse. So we keep it nice and tall. We think about that inhale up and then the grounding down of the tailbone on your exhale. There you go. And release those hands, roll it out. Keep your right leg on, take your left leg off. You're in Janu Sirsasana. Find your breath, open it up. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Good. The hands come down to the floor. I didn't say this on the other side, but if your knee doesn't come close to the floor, you can take a block underneath your knee to help support that joint and that hip. Good. And then notice it on this side, right? Is it tighter, looser? Are you getting some resistance? Can you honor that first part of that stretch? And just notice. Big deep breath, everyone. So again, right, we remember that the hamstring is way back here where we sit, that nice hard bone that we in yoga refer to as our sits bones. Comes down the leg, one on either side of the knee. And so it's a really important muscle to not just stretch, but strengthen, right? It plays a huge part in the health of our bodies, our hips, our backs. Come on up. Oh, good. Slide the right leg out to the right. Turn your body to face that leg. Make sure the back of your knee is supported. And then maybe come on forward a little bit. You're still drawing that right leg back into the hip socket at the same time that you are stretching. Find that energy you might feel either in the medial, the closest to the inside hamstring, or you might be feeling those inner thigh muscles a little bit. Find your breath. Good. Come on up. Slide it forward. Release your left leg, step over your right leg, and then slide your right leg over to the left. Still attention to the foot. Lift up nice and tall. Wrap your right arm around and come into a twist looking over the left side. Remember to take that spine nice and long on your inhale. Remember to ground down through the tailbone on your exhale. Find your breath, everyone. And release it. Take that right leg back to center and just drop your left knee out to the side. Oh, I feel this one the most because we're really grounding the right leg. We're not letting that knee bend so much. And so we really are finding that hamstring stretch. Use your breath. If you flex the foot, try to engage the quadricep or the thigh muscle on the right side and breathe. Good. Come on up. Release the left leg, both of them on your blanket or your towel. Inhale, reach up the arms, find Dandasana staff pose. And then maybe just flex and point your feet. If your heels are off your blanket, you'll get a little bit more movement as you breathe. That's it. And release it. Good. Roll your shoulders. You're going to use that same blanket. I think you'll be able to see this, but we'll find out. Take both heels on your blanket. Your knees are bent. You're going to lean back a little bit and you're just going to bring both legs straight. And then don't just bring the blanket back, but dig your heels in to pull the blanket back. Make it work for you. So bring them forward and push into your heels to squeeze back. There you go. Pull it out. Now, what are we working, right? Every time we bend those knees and engage, we're using the hamstring muscles. So we'll go a little bit quicker. So we're going to pull them in, straighten them. Yep. Pull, straighten. Good. Pull them in. Do what you can do, right? Don't overdo it. I love the camera angle for me as I push my feet out. They look really big. Good. Breathe. Couple more. Squeeze them in. Really dig in your heels if you want a little bit more work here. Good. Last one. Last one. Squeeze it in. Hold it in. Squeeze it into your level. Really squeeze those heels back. Breathe. You should be feeling the backs of your legs. And release it. Straighten it out. Good. Nice job, everybody. And then either set your blanket aside for now or put it on your mat underneath your knees. Okay, because we're going to get up on our knees for a little bit. You're going to need one of your blocks, possibly your strap. So have all that near the front of your mat. And then start in table pose. Spread the fingers, right? Tone in through the belly. Think of lengthening the front of the body on the inhale and lengthening the back of the body on your exhale. Press your right leg back. If your wrists are chatty today, you can come on down to elbows. You can do the same thing there. But then feel, right? Feel that leg extend. Tone the belly in. Lift the leg and feel the glute. Feel your behind on that side engage. Nice tone to the belly, nice length to your tailbone. I just want you to feel that leg working and then point your toes and then tap your toes. We did this last class and lift. Don't dump into your low back. Tap down and lift up. The more we can strengthen the legs and the glutes, right? The less work our lower backs have to do. We need balance, of course, right? Breathe. 4 and 3. Breathe. And 2 and 1. Hold that. Flex your foot. Bend your knee. So there's your hamstrings. And just bring that heel as close as it'll go to your glute for you. And then straighten. Good. There's just 5 of these. Squeeze it in and press out. That's 3. Press it out. Try to keep your knee level and out. 1 more. Squeeze it in and press it out and release it. Let go. Shake out the wrists if they're talking to you. Remember, you can also do soft fists. You can come down to elbows here. You just got to watch your alignment. Press your left foot back. Tone the belly in. Make sure your legs are hips width apart. And lift the leg, point your toes. Find that glute. Find that behind. Keep the belly toned in so you don't dump into your low back. And let's tap down. So that's 1. Squeeze it up. And 2. We're going to 10. Squeeze up. 3 and 4. Watch your neck and head alignment, by the way. Don't drop your head down. 5. Whoo. And 6. 7. Squeeze. 8. 9. 1 more. Squeeze it up. Squeeze, squeeze. Tone the belly again. Lengthen your tailbone. Flex your foot. Bend your knee. Try to keep that knee level or parallel with the floor. And then straighten and squeeze it in. That's 2 right here. and 3. Oh, yeah. And 4. We are getting ready for summer and shorts. And stretch it and then release it down, everybody. Good. Just stretch back for a second, either puppy stretch or child's pose, just to let that go a little bit. All right, come on up. Step your, let's see, might be easier. So we're going to be starting with a lunge and then we're going to bend the knee. So if you know already that your hand doesn't go anywhere near your foot, maybe just take a loop around your right foot and then the other side out over your shoulder. And then everybody's going to step forward with your left foot and come into a lunge. Remember to cushion that knee if you need to. Start by finding just this easy stretch. So, psoas muscle, right? Front of the thigh, go deep into the belly, your thigh muscle. As we breathe, as we stretch out the muscles, we find our breath. Yep. And then choices here. If you want, stay here. 2, come on out. 3, either use your strap or not to bend your back knee. And then that strap, if you want to use it, you're just going to use it to help pull that foot up to your level. If you don't need the strap, you're going to reach back with that same side hand and take the left arm up. If this is too much from a balance standpoint, take the hand down. If it hurts your knee, either cushion it or don't do it. Oh, yeah, big quad stretch, right? Big front of the leg stretch. Woo. That's it. Couple more, couple more. One more deep breath. Good. Hand comes down, release the leg. Take your hands back to the floor, transition easily. You're going to either use your strap on the left ankle or you're going to not use it if you don't need it. It's okay. But if you need it, throw it over your shoulder so it's easy to get to, right? We could be like little puppets here. And then step forward with your right foot. Come into a lunge. A lot of times we just don't take the time to stretch, right? To really get into the muscle. But if we think about opposing muscles, right? If we're working the hamstrings back here, if we're contracting these, we're stretching the quadriceps or the thigh muscles, or vice versa, right? If I'm stretching my psoas on the left side, I'm engaging the glute on the back side. So we just got to kind of think about that. Breathe. And then when and if you're ready, bend your knee. Remember, you can use your strap, just pull and hold. Take the other arm up, or if you have the range of motion to find your foot, go there. Whew. Quads are tight. So much in yoga, we've said this before, we stretch our hamstrings, right? All those forward folds, but we don't stretch the quads a lot. Oh, so I really feel this when we do this. Big deep breath. One more big breath. Good. Release. Hands come to the floor. Bring the right leg back. Release your strap if you're using it. Come to table pose and then plant your hands downward facing dog. Good. Pedal it out, everybody. I know. Good old quads. Good old hammies. Shake it out. And then look through your hands and step forward, left foot. Make sure your feet are wide enough, right? They can even go a little bit wider, but then imagine you have a block between the thighs and you're squeezing them back into center. Tone the belly, take your hands to your knee. Your right knee can be down. Lift up, nice high lunge, and then take the arms up. Oh. Right? So just feel this, right? If you haven't been doing a lot of moving yet today, You might feel this pose all kinds of ways. So just notice how it feels for you. Try to sink into your pose without overdoing it. You could always make it a shorter pose. And then take your hands to your thigh and try to isometrically pull your front heel back. When you do that, you fire up the hamstrings. So just try to pull it back, pull it back, pull it back. Big deep breath. Good. Release it. Inhale the arms up. Exhale your hands to the floor. Step back to downward dog or lower the knee and just switch sides. And breathe. Step forward, right leg. Remember, your left knee can be up or down. Your pose is wide enough, but then your legs scissor toward each other. Hands come to your thigh or to your knee and lift up. Find your lunge. How's it on this side? Can you engage your left side glute muscles to support the stretch in the left psoas? Take the arms up. Scissor the thighs toward each other. Find your pose. Stretch it out, everybody. Notice, notice. Good. Release the hands to your thigh and then try to pull your heel back isometrically. It's not going to go far, right? It's not going to go anywhere, really. You're just engaging the back leg of your front right leg by trying to pull that thigh back. Breathe. Good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, take them down to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Stretch it all out. Shake it all out. Bend your knees, bring your knees to the floor. And step forward, left leg. This time your right knee is on the floor. This time your hands are on your blocks. Watch the knees again. Bend your knee and hold. Good. And then take your front heel and try to drag it back. So now we're engaging both hamstrings, just a little bit different. So squeeze the back leg into your level, pull the front heel back to your level. Whew. Good. Everybody breathe. Release your right leg and simply switch sides. Once your right leg is forward, bend your back leg. Make sure you're not sitting right on top of your kneecap. That will not feel good. You're isometrically trying to pull your front heel back as if you could bring your heel to your knee. It's that kind of power as we engage the hamstrings here. Yep, just see what you can do. Don't force anything, no pain. Try to squeeze that back leg in. Release that leg, slide your right leg back, move your blocks out of the way, and come on down to your belly. And once you're on your belly, lower your upper body, bend one knee, squeeze it in, and straighten. Bend your other, and straighten. Good. And just start to go back and forth, but not super fast. So make sure it's very purposeful. Now, the compensation with hamstrings, is that we'll tend to poke our butts up. So I want you to press down toward your pubic bone and just squeeze through the back of your legs. And you might notice one side easier, one side harder, one side you feel more, one side you feel less. It's all okay, just observation. And then bend both knees, both feet press to the floor or press toward the ceiling. Pubic bone presses toward the floor. Lift one knee if you can, but don't hurt your low back. If you feel this, by the way, in your SI joints, you know who you are, then either lower the knee or don't lift as high. Breathe and lower down. Good. See if you can lift the other side. Keep the hip bone down. Big deep breath. And lower down. Straighten both legs. Point your left side toes and lift the whole leg. Keep the hip bone on the floor. That front hip bone that you should feel, keep it on the floor. Breathe and lower. Good. Point the right side toes and lift that side. Keep the hip bone down. You got it. Back of the legs getting nice and warm and lower that down. Tone your belly, press into your hands. Come back to table pose. We're almost done with this part. Tone your belly in. Good. Keep your right knee down or left knee down, but bend your right so that it is in 90 degrees. And then keep that 90 degrees, but bring that knee to chest and then press it up to the ceiling. Bring it in and press it up. Watch the back. Don't go so high that you feel it in your lower back. That's it. So bring it in and then press it up. One more here. Squeeze it in. Press it up and hold and then pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Lower down. And just shake the hips a little side to side. Left leg, 90 degrees. Tone your belly. Shake out the wrists if they're getting chatty. And into chest. And then that 90-degree lift. Good. Bring it in. Press up. This is 3. Squeeze it up. Last one here. Squeeze it up and hold, and then pulse it for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Release your knees. Take those knees wide, everybody, and just stretch back into either a nice child's pose or sit back on your heels. We're just going to give those hips a moment's reprise, right? A moment's rest. There's so much we could do, right? There's so many things that we can play with for sure. All right, that's enough rest for now. Come on back up. Let's find downward facing dog. Stretch it out. And before we come to standing, I want you to take your right leg up. This is optional. Your belly tones, and then simply bend your knee and straighten it. So bend, think about the back of your legs. Think about squeezing. And 4, we got one more here. And 5, stretch out that leg, lower it down. Switch sides, raise the left leg. Breathe, and then bend and straighten. 2, 3, and 4. You got it. One more. And 5. And lower down. Oh, good. From here, when you're ready, let's walk those hands all the way back to your feet. Bend your knees. Hands to knees. Come on up to standing. Oh, good. Shake it out. It just got weirdly light in here. I think the sun just came up. Good. Shake it out. Shake out the wrists. Shake out the legs. And then I want you to play with something. We're going to do without strap and with strap. So bring your feet to kind of hips width apart, maybe slightly wider. Spread out the toes. Feel the 4 corners of your feet. This is very subtle, but like holy moly. So I want you to press the legs away from each other isometrically and feel what just happened to the outer hips, right? I was looking at some different videos online, and this was a hip strengthener just to press the legs out away from each other. And they said to try to hold it for 20 or 30 seconds. So we're just pressing out, keep the knees soft, don't hyperextend the knees. Maybe there's a little bit of tone to the belly. Find your breath. And then just release. Shake it out. We're going to add one little element to that one, to that. We're going to do this again. So Push those legs out as if you could pull them apart, right? If you had a slippery surface, you would just slide out to a wide leg pose. Now, add the heels. So I want you to isometrically try to drag the heels out at the same time you're trying to drag the legs out, right? Right through that where the hamstrings come in. And for one of you out there, you know who you are. Just be mindful that you don't overdo these strengtheners, okay? Because I know you just had a little injury there. So just be mindful, right? We don't need to do 150%. We just find that. I'm still pushing and pulling, by the way. Maybe you are too. Woo, and release it. Good. And then grab your strap. So if you could do those, if those felt good to you, maybe you do five, a set of five, and each one is 30 seconds. So just take your strap carefully, step through it, place it above your knees, tighten it up so it's about hips width apart. And once you've got that, I can probably go a little tighter. Press against your strap and do the same thing. I want you to press against your strap as if you could pull those legs apart. There should be no pain in your knees. If there is, I want more bend in your knees, okay? Good. So just press out, press out, press out. Try to keep the feet on the floor, but just like press out. Can you all do that with me? Like, right? I'm going to tear this strap apart and release it. Good. One more here. So just pull against. I have a fair bend in my knees. Let me turn sideways because it's really the only way I can get good purchase on the strap and work those hips without feeling a little irritation in my knees. So I'm just really pulling out and I feel it all through this part of my glutes. You feel it, Betty? Yeah. Good. Couple more seconds. Just see if you can hang in there, right? This is where you go to your happy place. It's like, okay, I'm all right. It's good. And release it. And then just shimmy out of your strap and set your strap aside. So we know that we don't have to do a ton of stuff to make this happen, right? To get this all working. So from the front of your mat, take a step back with your right foot to a warrior stance. Again, right? You don't have to go super deep. You can stay more shallow in your pose. Just watch your front knee alignment. Or you're in this nice warrior one, the belly is toned in. And this time I want you to lift your front ball mound, the front foot ball mound off the floor if you can, and dig the heel in. And then try to pull the heel back. And you should feel these hamstrings. If you're not sure, relax it and feel, and then flex it and feel. I know for me, it tightens up even more. And then try to squeeze both legs toward each other. Keep the back glute active. Take the arms out. Find your breath. Whew. I'm really trying to squeeze that front heel back. Really got the front leg active. And then drop your front ball mound straight in your leg. Lean forward. Let the hand slide down your leg. Take the other arm up. Let's find triangle pose. Good, deep breath. In traditional triangle, they'll show it with the back of the hand resting on the inner shin or fingertips to the floor. I tend to do mine more often with my hand just resting on my shin so that I feel that support and then I can play with the rest of the pose. I'm not trying to hang in space so much. Good, deep breath. Good. Take the arms up, bend your knee, put more of the weight in the front heel, and then try to pull it back one more time. Ooh. Feel the whole outer hip work, right? You feel the hamstring work. Nice job, everybody. Straighten the leg, but just turn yourself forward. Oh. And those toes facing forward might actually feel pretty good after all of that work. And then let's switch sides. So you're going to take your right foot, point it forward. You're going to make sure your back foot is either parallel with the short edge of your mat or toes are slightly forward. Find the width of your stance or the length of your stance that works for you. Flex your front foot, lift your toe mound off the floor, pull it back if you can, and then try to pull the front foot forward. So the whole back of the leg gets invited to the dance. And then the front hamstring. Take the arms out. And breathe. That's it. It doesn't have to be a super long pose, right? We're just trying to find some energy in the legs, trying to drag that front heel back. Breathe. And then lower your front foot, straighten your front leg, lean over that leg without dumping the hip. Keep that low body, that underside body long. Take the hand down where it'll go and take the top arm up. Good. You're still scissoring those legs a little bit toward each other. And another way to try it. So for some, scissoring the legs together creates a lot of stability. For others, pushing the feet away from each other isometrically creates that stability. So play there. See what it feels like for you. Big deep breath. And then press yourself up. Bend your front leg. Push into the heel of your front foot without lifting. Squeeze it back if you can, isometrically. Relax your face, relax your jaw. And breathe. Good. Release it. Turn your toes to face forward and come on down to a forward fold. Big deep breath. Good. Press into your hands, maybe heel toe your feet closer. Bend your knees, hands to knees. Come on up. Good. Roll your shoulders. Little bit of slow flow here. We're going to incorporate these hamstrings a little bit more. So just be mindful, right? Maybe you take a rest. Maybe you relax. Maybe you don't worry about it. I'm just going to change that lighting a little bit. It's so bright over here. All right. So inhale, everybody, lift up. Exhale all the way down. Now, soft knees, soft knees, right? We're feeling those hamstrings stretch. Maybe the backs of the legs stretch. The top of the head is nice and long toward the floor. Just breathe. And then look at your feet while you're there and see if all four corners are pressing in and the ankles are not collapsing, either outward or inward. They're just nice and solid as you stretch into your feet. Excuse me. Bend your knees, step back right leg. Make sure your pose is wide enough. Your right knee goes down or it stays up. Inhale, reach up. And breathe, everybody. Find your stretch. Exhale your hands to the floor. Whoop. Step back, downward facing dog. Stretch it out nice and slow, like we said. Come to plank pose. Lower your knees. Come on down, chaturanga. Release to a low cobra. Breathe. Press in, lift up, downward facing dog. Notice, nice tone to the belly. Look through your hand, step forward, right leg. Find that lunge again, knee up or knee down. Hands come to your knee as you lift up and then take the arms up. Nice deep breath, everyone. That's it. Hands come back down to the floor. Push off to step forward. Bend your knees. Inhale, reach up. Exhale your hands to your heart. Let's add on. Inhale, take it up. Exhale all the way down. Soften the knees, step back, left leg, listen up. You're going to take your knee to the floor and then lift it up. Knee to the floor, lift up. This is 3, lift up. 4, lift up. Last one, 5, lift up. Excuse me, hands to knee. Lift your chest. Take the arms up. Find your breath. Exhale your hands to the floor. Step back, down dog. And breathe. Plank pose. Lower your knees, listen up. Bend your knees, bring those heels toward your glutes to engage your hamstrings. Take it down, chaturanga. Release to very low cobra. Keep the heels squeezing in. Press back up if you can. Release the legs, downward facing dog. Look through your hands, step forward, left leg. Right knee taps down for 5. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hold that high or low lunge, hands to knee. Lift your chest, take the arms up. Find your breath. Exhale, hands to the floor. Push off to step forward. Bend your knees, come on up. Exhale your hands to your heart. We have one more full round. We're going to add just a little more. Inhale, take it up. Exhale all the way down. Soften the knees, step back, right leg. Choices here. You stay here and tap for 5. You take your hands to your knee and tap for 5. That's harder. This is 2 and 3 and 4. Last one, 5. Good. And take the arms up. Good. Drop your back foot to the side position and find warrior. Straighten the front leg, find triangle. I know we've done all of this before, right? Breathe, makes it easy to remember. Bend your front leg. Cartwheel those hands back to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Breathe. Plank pose. Option, knees down, knees up. If your knees are down, bend the knees. If your knees are up, lift your right foot. And then flex and straighten for 2 and 3 and 4. Woo, last one. Breathe. Let's do the other side so I don't forget it later. Bend right or left. 2, 3, 4. Woo, and 5. Good. Lower down, chaturanga. Really slow cobra. Exhale, down dog. Holy moly. Breathe. Step forward, right leg. Remember the option here. Knee taps for 5. Hands to knee. Whoop. And lift up. And then tap for 5. 1, 2, 3. Thank you all. 4 and 5. Hold your lunge. Warrior 2 on that side. Woo! Straighten your front leg. Find triangle pose. Breathe. Bend your front leg. Cartwheel those hands down. Straighten your back foot. Push forward. Bend your knees. Inhale, reach up. Exhale your hands to your heart. And believe it or not, we have one more side. I'm a little out of breath. Whew. Too much talking. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, take it down. Soften your knees, step back, left leg. Find your breath here. And notice, lengthen your spine. Press back through your right leg and find plank. Big deep breath, squeeze your belly, tap both knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lower your knees. Flex your knees or your feet. Chaturanga, take it down. Hold the legs. Take your hands forward. Lift your chest into a wide, it's kind of a wide armed sphinx pose. Bend your legs, press your pubic bone down. Find your breath. 1, you're here. 2, the hands go back. You grab your feet and find boat pose. Big deep breath. That's it. 1 more big breath. Woo! And release. Good. From here, press back to child's pose. Holy moly. There's a good one. Shake out your back. Catch your breath. Good. All right, so you've caught your breath, hopefully. From table pose to down dog to standing forward fold, however you want to get there. And then come all the way up to standing. Feet or hips width apart. Push the legs out isometrically. Here we are again. Pull them away from each other. Pull the heels away from each other. Oh, good. Big deep breath. Chest is tall. Shoulders are back. This is relaxed, right? If you're like really tense, relax the upper body. Just work here. Come on, you got this. I was playing with this yesterday and I think I did 3 sets of 5 and my legs were like wobbly. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pressing and release it. Nice, shake it out. My new favorite thing. All right, so balance work here. Maybe a wall is nearby just to help with that, right? Or a chair or piece of furniture is nearby that you can just set your fingertips on. And I'm going to come on off mat for this one. So I want you to just really find stability in the feet and right, feel all the hip muscles, all the glute muscles working. Easy stuff. Hands come to your hips. All you're going to do is, I'm starting with my right leg down. You can start with the leg that makes sense for you. And then lift your other leg to 90 degrees. Tone the belly, keep the chest lifted. And breathe. Keep that 90-degree angle, bring it as high to the chest as you can. And then keep the angle to squeeze it back. Good, bring it up. And bring it back. So it's really funny when I'm really focused, when I'm really concentrating, I don't tend to smile. And then I realize that I'm on Zoom. And I think I should smile. Good. 1 more, bring it up. When you bring it back, hold. Didn't cue a strap, so either grab your foot or don't worry about your foot. Take the right arm up or the opposite arm up. Dancer pose. Lean forward if you would like. Find your breath. And come on up. Shake it out. Turn it around. Woo, shake it out. Oh, yeah. All right, other side. So let's find that solid mountain pose, right? We really draw up. Hands come to hips. We bend the right knee for me, your other leg. Find the balance on the left side. Move slowly. Drop it down. Squeeze it back. And then bring it forward. Squeeze it up. And back. Whew. And forward. Good. Bring it back. Hold. Remember, you can stay here. You can grab your foot if it's available. Take the left arm up. Maybe come forward. Find your breath. Fall out of your pose and release it down. Shake it out, everybody. Oh, if you stepped off mat, come on back. Come on back. Take the legs wide. Nice deep hinge from your hips. Come on forward. And from the wide leg forward fold, just walk your hands forward so that you're in more of a wide leg downward facing dog. Just stretch out your back. Feel the sit bones where the hamstrings attach. Feel those lift away from the floor. Big stretch there, but then lengthen down the tailbone to find the balance here. And breathe. Good. Walk those hands back. Lift up. Turn the feet out just a little bit, maybe 45. Bend the knees. Pull the knees out to the side. Hands come to your knees. Lift your chest. You're in a wide leg squat. Arms reach up. And then the elbows come to sides for goddess pose. Yep. Breathe. And then imagine, right? You're dragging the heels back into kind of the middle as if you were going to straighten your feet out to the sides. Whew. So that you're really working with the sit bones, the hamstrings, all that stuff working. Try to drag the heels towards each other. Whew. Yep. Breathe. Hands to thighs. Straighten your legs. Take the arms up and wide, 5-pointed star, nice and easy. Just give the behind a little squeeze. And exhale, let it go. Heel toe them together, shake them out. Come back to your mat. We're coming to the floor. Arms reach up, exhale them down. Maybe pause here. Maybe take the feet a little wider than your normal and just pause in that forward fold. The knees are soft. And breathe. And then make your way to the floor as best you can. And have a seat. So you're going to want your blanket. I'm going to move my mat out of the way a little bit. And the blanket's going to come under your heels. So we were here at the beginning of class, right? You're going to dig in to that blanket. Your choice this time is to slide out and slide in, okay? That's your first choice. And if you slide in, like really make it work for you, like really get that baby to slide in. Your second choice is to find a position for your hands that feels okay and good on your wrists and shoulders and lift your hips a little bit off the floor. Slide out, slide in. Woo, slide out and in, out. Woo, squeeze it in. 2 more, slide out. Slide in. You're getting an upper body work too. Slide out, squeeze it in, and let go. Whew. Breathe. And then sit your blanket aside. Come down to your back. Find a little hamstring thing, okay? And maybe while you're coming down to the floor, just have your strap by you so we can use that in a little while. Come on down to your backs and press your shoulders to the floor. Your hands can be face down alongside you. You can even grab the edges of your yoga mat gently. Don't over grab, but just gently. And normally in bridge pose, right, your heels are under your knees. I want you to walk the feet just a little bit further away, but then lift your ball mounds, the feet, off the floor and dig the heels in. And without even lifting, I want you to pull the heels back isometrically and feel your hammies. Feel your hamstrings. Good. The rest of you should be pretty darn relaxed. If your head is dropped back because your upper back is rounded, a low pillow under your head is okay, but nothing big. And so feel that dig, right? Feel the heels digging in, feel them pulling back, and then optionally lengthen your tailbone and lift your hips. Whew. The upper body is relaxed. If you're holding your mat, it's just for stability, right? For some grounding. But otherwise, you don't even need to hold them if you don't want. Now, the temptation is to push your heels away from you to lift higher. I want you to pull them in toward you and keep the tailbone super long so that there's just a little curve to the low back. Good. Breathe, 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 everybody. And lower down. Oh, good. Stretch out the ankles. So where your feet were, optional, walk the feet out a little bit more. Flex the feet, lift the ball mounds off the floor, dig the heels in, pull them back. Lift your hips, lengthen the tailbone. So you're at a longer angle. This is going to work the hips again, but differently. The hamstrings working, the hips working, the glutes are working. You should feel all of that nice and solid here. If it's getting to be too much, come on down, right? Don't worry. We've done a ton again, especially when we do these focused classes. It can be a lot for one class. So breathe. Good. Lower. Just drop your toes. We got one more here. Where your feet are, stay. Bring them back toward your hips or bring them out a little further. Oh, there we go. Ready? Dig in the heels, pull them back before you even lift. Lengthen the tailbone before you lift. Drop the shoulders down. Lift the hips up. Holy moly. The knees are parallel to each other. The heels are digging in. We are finding our hamstrings, the backs of our legs, right? That we don't look at, we don't think about. We let them go. We let them get too loose and not strong, right? So we've got to really work on balancing the front back legs. Oh, and lower down. Holy moly. Just straighten the legs for a moment. Just shake it out. Just kind of notice. Just kind of breathe, right? Good. Bend the knees. Feet to the floor. Your heels are back underneath your hips. Your arms are back down to your sides. Lift the hips, regular bridge pose. Don't overlift. Don't worry about getting shoulders under. Good. And then march in place for 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold your bridge pose if you can. And then exhale, let it go. Bring your left knee to your chest. Keep your right foot on the floor. Good. Take your right hand to your left knee and just bring it across your chest. Your right foot stays on the floor. You're just stretching this out a little bit, little different way. And then release that. Take ankle to knee. Bring both knees toward chest. Try to keep a little space behind your lower back. See, the end is always so nice, isn't it? You're like, oh, thank goodness. Good. Breathe. Cross knee over knee. You can either go to cow face legs, which means both heels move away from each other, or you're just going to let the right heel move to the left a little bit without skewing your hips. You'll feel the same thing without worrying about touching ankles or holding on to shins or anything. That's it. Big deep breath. And release. Put both feet back on the floor. Bring your right knee to your chest and just squeeze it in. Left hand to right knee, just bring the knee across. It's kind of across the chest or across the body, but without doing a twist or anything. Good. Release that ankle to knee. Bring the knees up. Find your figure 4 pose. Little tiny space under your low back. Relax your jaw, relax your shoulders. Just leave it be, right? Everything's softening down. Big deep breath. And then optionally across your knees and either go heel to heel or even shin to shin as you separate the heels away from each other. Or you're just knee to knee and you're just coaxing that left foot toward the right a little bit. Oh, yeah. So feel what you are feeling in the hips, right? And just try to breathe and soften into it. Release those heels, release the pose, both feet to the floor. Take your strap, wrap it around your left foot. Take the left foot up to the ceiling. Keep your right foot on the floor. Feel that nice open hammy. It's all open. Good. Just stretch, or it's all tight, depending on how your body responded to this class. And then strap to the left hand, take the left leg out to the left, take the right knee out to the right, just to compensate, just to find the balance there. You can even lift your right foot off the floor so that the thighs are pretty even with each other, even though the right leg stays bent. Upper body soft. If you lifted your right foot, put it back to the floor, cross your thighs to take it over for an additional stretch here. Ooh, yeah. And release. Bend your knee. Let that foot come to the floor. Good. We're going to switch sides. Taking this leg up. Find your stretch. The right leg is up. Take the right leg out to the side. Take the left knee out to the side. Remember that you can lift the left leg. So much for my home practice, right? Breathe, everybody. Ooh. Good. If your left foot was up, put that back down. Bring the legs back to center. Cross your thighs. Ooh, yeah. Stretch it out, everyone. Just breathe and take the legs to center. Bend your knee, release your strap. Bring both knees to chest. Keep your right leg in, stretch your left leg nice and long. And then switch sides, bring your left knee in, stretch your right leg long. And then release that right leg, release the left leg. Shake it all out. And finally, let's come to Shavasana. If your lower back is chatty, bend your knees. Keep your feet on the floor. Just feel your whole body. And maybe you can tap in to the front of your legs and the back of your legs and feel them. And maybe they feel a little bit more balanced. Maybe you're still feeling tightness one side or the other. But it's so good to be mindful of that front, back body, side body, all of it. It's so good to be reminded and aware of balance. So take all the tension out of your legs. Take all the tension out of your hips. Take all the tension out of your belly and your chest and your arms, your neck, your face. And just come into your fullest Shavasana. Feel your whole body melt into your mat. Allow your jaw to soften so much that a small smile comes across your face. Let your body be fed by that smile. Soften, relax, breathe. Just be in this space. And knowing that you can be in your Shavasana for as long as you would like, as you're ready. Either staying or starting to wiggle your toes. And imagine your toes, wiggling them is ticklish. And so you smile some more and maybe you giggle a little as you start to wake your body up, stretching out arms and legs. And then draw the knees slowly to chest. Draw them in nice and deep and rock side to side and stretch out anything else that could use a stretch. Slowly lower the knees to one side. And then even slower, press all the way back up to your seated pose.